colleagues, we don't have an obligation to undermine the Fourth Amendment just because someone prioritized it. Maybe this is a problem related to COVID times. We haven't been socializing as much as we typically would. I still feel bad for the freshman senators this year who haven't been able to benefit from the camaraderie and the relationship building and the friend making and the eating and drinking and the things that we do to get to know each other here in the body, to understand what each other's priority bills are, to understand what drives us and matters to us. I remember my first year, Senator Arch came up to my office and he sat down with me and he asked me pretty directly about some things that we disagreed about. And we had a personal conversation about where we were coming from, and we emerged better friends because of it. And that's a typical thing that happens in the unicameral. But we haven't been doing that this year. I didn't know about LB496 until it was out of committee. At no point did anybody talk to me about it. Nobody counted my vote. Nobody asked me about it. The introducer or any of the sponsors, no one came up to me and said, hey, Megan, we've got this bill. It could really help sexual assault survivors. Is this something you could support? Like, I was never lobbied on this. And I don't support it. And I don't feel obligated to support it. And I would also, I didn't like the point that was made about how Senator Hilkemann has brought priority bills in the past pertaining to domestic assault and abuse. So now that means that we owe you a bill that violates and undermines the Fourth Amendment. Like introducing bills pertaining to sexual assault got you some bona fides, and now you've earned a bill that undermines privacy rights and targets the rights of Black and brown people and undermines their right to be free from police violence. The bill that Senator Kavanaugh introduced, that Senator Hilkemann prioritized 2 years ago, that they were talking about, I remember that bill. That bill made it easier for people to apply for protection orders. It made it so that if an application for a protection order was dismissed, it would be dismissed without prejudice, which means that the applicant could reapply if there were problems with their application, they didn't put the right address, or they did something clerically wrong, which is a common problem with people who are English as second language or who are non-English speakers, that they could reapply for their protection order. It also said that the court where the petition is filed could decide to issue a temporary protection order without giving notice to the respondent if the petitioner thought that the respondent might be violent or might harm them, if they thought they could be in some kind of harm if the petitioner or the respondent was notified, among other things that bill did. That bill that we debated for those protection orders, colleagues, was the only time in my time here in the legislature that I cried. It was the only time that I had an emotional response to a bill that kind of came out of nowhere and was really so upsetting to me. And I'll tell you why. This was a bill that Senator Kavanaugh introduced. I've filed many protection orders before. I ran a retail store in Midtown Omaha that got a lot of traffic. I was always in there. At the time that I ran the store, I was running for office. And if you know the first thing about me, sometimes I say things that are kind of controversial or politically unpopular.
1 minute.
And I filed many protection orders in my day, so I know how it goes. But the reason that bill made me so emotional is because man after man stood up and talked about the bill and talked about how they knew someone who faced domestic assault or domestic violence and how they supported this bill because they knew they had to stand up for those women. But we introduce bills all the time that support victims of sexual assault, that support single mothers, that support the reproductive rights of people who survive sexual assault. And those very people who stood up and said, we have to protect women, are the ones who killed those bills. And it made me very emotional to see the hypocrisy when women ourselves are asking you what we want and you do not give it to us, and instead you say, let's make a database of the DNA of Black people. That's not what women are asking for to be safe. Thank you, Madam Chair.